All right, y'all. So now that I'm mad, not really mad at the reason you think I am, though, but I'm pretty well ticked off, and I'm going to try to watch my language because I think that everybody in the county, everybody in Harrison County, Mississippi, ought to be able to watch what I'm doing. I swore I'd go public. I said I was going to go public. Well, now you get full disclosure. I'm going to pause this and let y'all look at something. First thing that you're going to see is a letter that I received on the 14th from the Harrison County Sheriff's Department. Second thing you're going to see is one that I received on the 15th. I'm going to give y'all about a minute with each and let you read. All right, y'all. So now that I'm mad, not really mad at the reason you think I am, though, but I'm pretty well ticked off, and I'm going to try to watch my language because I think that everybody in the county, everybody in Harrison County, Mississippi, ought to be able to watch what I'm doing. I swore I'd go public. I said I was going to go public. Well, now you get full disclosure. I'm going to pause this and let y'all look at something. First thing that you're going to see is a letter that I received on the 14th from the Harrison County Sheriff's Department. Second thing you're going to see is one that I received on the 15th. I'm going to give y'all about a minute with each and let you read. All right, y'all. So this is what happened. So many of y'all know I applied for a job as a corrections deputy at Harrison County Sheriff's Department. Well, they sent me 2 letters, which I'll make public. In addition to that, I am also right now calling the sheriff. And I'm going to let y'all listen into the conversation. So here goes nothing.
The operator.
Let's try that again.
You have reached the Harrison County Sheriff's Office. If this is an emergency, please hang up. You are being transferred to the operator.
This is shorthanded. It takes them a while to answer.
Thanks for calling Harrison County. May I assist you?
Yes, ma'am. Can you put me through to Sheriff Peterson's office, please?
Sure. Hello, you've reached the desk of Robin Weaver, Secretary to Sheriff Troy Peterson. My hours are 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. If this is an emergency, please call 911. If you need to make a report, please call the non-emergent dispatch number 228-865-7060. Otherwise, you can leave me a message and I will call you as soon as possible. Thank you. Begin speaking after the tone. Press any key when you are done.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Anthony Allen, and I had called up there earlier last week, reminding Sheriff Peterson of our conversation in D'Iberville. Apparently, I'm getting mixed signals. I've got Investigator McCabe telling me that I passed my interview, and I have Miss Jody Rippey saying that I failed my interview, and I'm just trying to figure out why I wasn't selected to work in the jail. If you would, please give me a call back at area code 904-860-2502. That's 904-860-2502. Thank you, and y'all have a great day.
Press R, the 7 key, to review your message. D, the 3 key, to discard your message and record over. A, the 2 key, to append to your message and continue recording.
U, the 8 key, to make your message urgent. X, the 9 key, to send your message and enter another extension. 0, to deliver your message and return to the operator. Message sent. You are being transferred to the operator.
It's 10:39 a.m. I'll make that call again in a couple hours. If no satisfaction, I'll go down there. Before I get into what I was going to get into, let me tell y'all that I actually met up with Jody Rippey Friday afternoon around 4 o'clock. I caught her on the walk leaving the jail. I guess she was going to her car for the weekend. And I was told that I did not pass the interview. The guy who interviewed me, and I did not remember the captain's name that was there, but the investigator, I knew his name. I worked with his brother in Florida. His brother was my captain. That would be Investigator McCabe, told me that I passed the interview. Now I can't get anybody on the phone, and I haven't received a call back. I made that call. Let me look at my call log and tell you exactly what time I made that call. This is just so y'all know that I am being 100% above board here. I made that call at 10:35 a.m. I'm recording this right now at 11:14 p.m. So well after close of business, and I haven't received a call back. That's okay, Troy. You don't have to call me back, buddy. That's okay. I'll hold your little hand and show you exactly what I mean by I am a man of my word, and I am a man of integrity. Keep watching, buddy. I'm sure somebody will send this to you. Anyway, I said I was going to go nuclear. The detonator's already been activated. Now, when you run a jail on a skeleton crew, what you create is called officer fatigue. Your officers, your correctional officers, are tired. I don't care how much training they have. I would argue that my training that I got in corrections, which I received from the Florida Department of Corrections, which is 4 times what Mississippi will give somebody, I would argue that my training is still insufficient to combat officer fatigue. When you are tired and you're working a 12-hour shift, and inmates are not always the easiest to deal with, neither are your fellow officers in a lot of cases. Let's be honest. Anybody who's worked in corrections knows exactly what I'm talking about here. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, your fellow officers will really get under your skin and get on your nerves. It happens. Even though we say we're closer than brothers. And for the ladies, yeah, you're my sister too if you're in there. After a while, differences of opinion come out, tempers flare. Not to mention you have an inmate that's in his cell kicking on the door, begging for your attention, showing out, doing stuff, violating the rules, making weapons, making what in Florida we would call a Rayford cocktail, which is it's literally a cup filled up full of bodily excrements. I don't think I need to draw you any more of a picture on that. I hope I don't. Bodily fluids that they will fill up in a usually styrofoam cup to throw on an officer. Disgusting as it is, yes, it happens. They're making shanks. They're making alcohol. They're just doing everything they can to get under your skin, okay? That's life. That's corrections. But what happens if you're tired is instead of using de-escalation tactics, you escalate it. Now, if you were fully, you had your full sleep and a couple of days off to rejuvenate your body and rejuvenate your mind, you're probably not as likely to be as irritable, and it probably won't result in a use of force. But when you are irritable, inmates here, you're tired of dealing with it. You take it here. So the inmate takes it here. Then you take it here. You're really supposed to be trying to bring it down, but you're steadily trying to increase each other. You're trying to talk over each other. Then you get in a shouting match. Inmates don't like to be yelled at. They make a threat. You make a threat. Next thing you know, you wind up in a use of force situation that could have been avoided. Why? Because you're tired. You're taking your job, the mismanagement of your facility, your boss's mismanagement, you're taking it out on the inmate, and the inmate gets hurt. Or you get hurt. Now you have a use of force that could have been avoided. Inmates going to the hospital. You might be going to the hospital. And now you're 3 officers down, because it takes 2 in most institutions. Every one of them that I've worked at, it takes 2 officers to take 1 inmate to outside hospital. Maybe Harrison County does it different. I don't know. Now we're 3 down off shift, more than we already were. And the shift could be extended because hospital may or may not be in a hurry. They may be backed up. What are they going to deal with? A civilian having a heart attack? Or an inmate that got in there because he got his head cracked open? Which one are they going to deal with first? I promise you it's not the inmate. So the officers are going to be sitting there, and that shift and potentially the next shift is going to be down more as well. That's what happens when you run a jail on a skeleton crew, Troy. Now, full disclosure, this is not my first time applying for the Harrison County Jail. It is, in fact, my 3rd time. The first time I applied was in 2011. I didn't have any corrections experience. I'm not mad about getting the job. The second time I applied was in 2020. At the time I applied, I was an active sergeant with the Florida Department of Corrections. I was just before the pandemic. It was in February of 2020. I was in Biloxi, was on leave, but I wanted to come home, and I was willing to take a pay cut to do so. They refused to hire me because in 2003, 17 years before I had my interview, by the way, over 20 years ago now, I was arrested by the Biloxi Police Department for driving under a suspended license. And I was housed in the Harrison County Jail. Anybody watching this ever been convicted when they were 18 years old of a traffic misdemeanor? pretty sure a lot of y'all probably were. Maybe not all. So I never applied again. Until August 7th of this year. Today's the 21st, by the way, almost the 22nd. But I digress. August 7th, I put in my application. Many of y'all know, and if you're watching this and you're in the Biloxi Politics Uncensored group or seen me on Facebook, you know I was going for Louis Elias. You know Troy Peterson wasn't. Whatever. Troy didn't get elected. That's fine. It happens. It's politics. Politics played a part, I believe. But let's fast forward here. Let's go to August 8th. August 8th at the D'Iberville Farmers Market. August 8th was the day of the primary election. I actually met up with Troy Peterson in person, face to face. Introduced myself, told him who I was, gave him the name I use on Facebook. Because, full disclosure, he rolled up while I was sitting there talking with Beverly Martin and Renee Wiggins. Two friends of mine, by the way. Love them both to death. They're excellent people. Sadly, neither one of them won their race. But I digress. So, while I'm talking to him, I told him, I said, look, I just put my application in. This is what's going on. I have a 20-plus year old traffic conviction that stopped me from getting on with y'all the last time I applied. And he said, well, the policy is, if you've ever been in the back door, we won't let you in the front door. But he also promised me that he would waive it as long as that's all that it was. My background is clean. I know my background is clean. Other than that. And I don't really consider that a blemish because it was 20 years ago. I was 18 and it was a traffic misdemeanor. But I still didn't get hired. And I was lied to my face. Now, y'all want to know the cool part? Let's assume for the moment that my driver's license was suspended. It's not. But let's assume for the moment that my driver's license was actually suspended right now. And I was driving and I got pulled over. Did you know that I wouldn't go to the Harrison County Jail for that? I wouldn't even get arrested. I'd get a ticket. I might get my car towed and I might have to call for a ride or walk home. Those are real possibilities. I would definitely, more than likely, I would definitely get a ticket. But because Troy Peterson, in his wonderful management of the Harrison County Jail, will not lock anybody up for non-enhanceable, non-violent misdemeanors, that's not an enhanceable misdemeanor. So you stop me from getting a job for something that I wouldn't even go to jail for now. Even though in 2003 I went to jail for it. Different times, different sheriff. That was George Payne. I get it. So, let's throw this out there too. In polite society, if you violate the rules of society, a civilized, law-abiding, law-respecting society that we're supposed to live in. We are a nation of law. We have courts of law. We have legislators who pass law for a reason. The you shall nots of society, if you will. Rules to which all of us make a fairly decent effort to adhere to. If you violate those rules, those laws, there are consequences, except in Harrison County. Thank you, Troy. The only way that you can be arrested and taken to jail on a non-enhanceable, non-violent misdemeanor offense in Harrison County, and if they really want to push it, is if you go to Stone County Jail. Now, let's think about this for a minute. We have a shorthanded police force all over the state. It's a nationwide problem. It really is. Give Matt Haley credit for that. It is a nationwide problem. It's not cool to be the police anymore. Nobody wants to be the police anymore unless you just want to be the police. Thank the media and the social justice warriors for that one. But I digress. Not to mention, being a police officer doesn't really pay very much. I think Harrison County is paying $35 a year for COs and $40 for deputies. Long Beach, I think, is paying $44. Ocean Springs, I think, is paying about $50, and that's about the highest I've seen. I think Biloxi's paying about $46. Gulfport's paying about the same, I think. So they're shorthanded. Because people need to be able to survive. So you take an already taxed police department and you take an officer off the road for about 2 hours. If he's got to take somebody to jail in Wiggins. It's a 45-minute drive up, 45-minute drive back, plus the time it takes him to do his paperwork. You're 2 hours into your shift by this point. You want to know how to get out of jail in Stone County? If you're on a Harrison County charge, you know how to get out of jail in Stone County? I can say 4 words and the jail will be opened up to me. I'm going to kill myself. That's right, people. I'm going to kill myself. That's all it takes. And when those words are said, you get pulled out of whatever cell that you're in. You get put in a suicide shroud. You get put in a suicide cell. And they call whatever agency, D'Iberville, Biloxi, Gulfport, Long Beach, or Pass Christian PD, arrested you and brought you there. They call you to pick you up and come get you out of the jail because by contract, they can't house you anymore. Ask me how I know this. Oh, wait a minute. Because I used to work for the Stone County Regional Correctional Facility. I didn't want to make this public, but I am now. Are you mad yet? Now, said criminal is going back. If Memorial Hospital doesn't have a place for him, the only other mental facility with a locked wing that's close by is, Singing River, I believe? I don't know if Singing River has a contract with any departments in Harrison County to take suicide cases. I'm not sure that they do. Now, here's the other thing. I want to know, and I'm going to find out what cities are paying the Stone County Jail to house their misdemeanors. Keep in mind, we already pay taxes in this county to run the Harrison County Jail. We have room to house 900 inmates. 760 at the county jail. We have a work camp that can house 140 more. 760 and 140, according to my Biloxi education, is 900. The last I knew, which was about a month ago, as of July 24th, the population of the jail was about 719 inmates in custody at the Harrison County Jail. Why doesn't Troy open up the work camp that we don't use over on Cal and Lorraine Road? Because he doesn't have the staff for it. Well, wait a minute. Hold on. You have an experienced correctional officer with more training than probably anybody in the building, willing to go to work as a slick sleeve CO for less than he's worth. Hi, that would be me. I am a captain willing to take a busboy's job and wasn't going to complain about it. Would have been happy to get it. Do y'all see the problem now? Are you mad yet? We're in trouble in Harrison County, people. We're in trouble. Matt Haley, great cop as far as I know. I hope to God he doesn't do what he said he was going to do and continue Troy Peterson's failed policies. I pray to God he doesn't. But I don't see any change in it. I hope I'm wrong. I wanted to work at the jail because I care about my community. I care about Harrison County. I care that when I came back from Florida in 2020, because I finally completely moved back September of 2020, I had never seen the coast in the shape that it's in now. Go to downtown Biloxi. You know, I used to walk down Water Street. I used to walk down Jackson Street. I used to walk down all them little areas behind the hospital over there, by Mary Mahoney's, by the Magnolia Hotel. I love that area. You know, I went walking there not long after I got back and got hassled by some aggressive bum. The guy was so aggressive, I thought I was going to have to pull my concealed carry out on him. I didn't, thank God. But I really thought I was going to have to, because he was that aggressive. I never thought I'd have to see the day when the Shell station across from the Beau Rivage, arguably in one of the most tourist infested locations, arguably, probably, if anybody's first coming to Biloxi, the first thing that they're going to see is that, because they're heading to the Hard Rock or the Beau Rivage. They might need to stop and get something to drink, get some gas. That area should be a tourist area. Should be generating revenue. That should be the crown jewel of Biloxi, is that area right there in downtown Biloxi. You've got the ballpark there. You've got the Beau Rivage. You've got the Hard Rock. You've got Mary Mahoney's. You've got, everything all in that area that's all relatively close. That should be nothing but revenue generation. But what do you have? I went there a couple of weeks ago, that same Shell station. Actually, it was about a month ago. They have an armed security guard out there. Because that's the only way to keep them at bay. They have armed security there. And really, what is a security guard? Not much. Especially when, what are they going to do? Trespass them? They're not going to, Biloxi can't lock them up for trespassing. Not in Harrison County. They got to take them to Stone County. Now let's talk about what other charges won't get you locked up at Harrison County. How about property crimes? Obviously trespassing. How about shoplifting? How about I can go steal $400 worth of stuff from you and it's petty theft? Petty theft ain't going to get you locked up. Shoplifting won't get you locked up either. Now, how many businesses are going to like taking $400 hits at a time? Anything less than $500, last I checked, was a misdemeanor. How about your house? Somebody stealing stuff out of your yard, out of your car. Y'all want that? I mean, hey, you know what? I got a great idea, Troy. I got a great idea. Why don't we be like San Francisco? Why don't we just allow people to run amok and do exactly what they want to do, just like those liberals that y'all love to hate in San Francisco that get to literally defecate on the street, steal whatever they want, not get locked up. Because why not? Is that the county that you want? Matt Haley, if you watch this, and I'm sure you will, I know somebody will send it to you. In fact, I'm going to make sure that somebody sends this to you. I hope to God you watch this and heed my warning. I don't care whether you call me up and hire me or not after this. I'm sure and by the way, I know this is career suicide. I know the second that I put this video out, my career in corrections in Harrison County is over with. And I'm still willing to do it. I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to go ahead and end any chance of me working corrections in Harrison County and probably surrounding areas. And I'm doing it anyway. I'll be that sacrificial lamb. More like sacrificial wolf. Because sheepdog actually. Y'all are the wolves. y'all that are allowing this. I'm the sheepdog here telling everybody this is what's going on, and y'all need to be a little bit aggravated with it because we're paying for services not rendered. And it's your fault. Matt Haley, this is for you, buddy. I like you. I respect you. I wish you well. I wish that you could come in and change this, and I hope you do. I hope you change these policies, these failed policies of your predecessor, the sitting sheriff right now, the one that a lot of people swear is the best sheriff we ever had in Harrison County. I wish that you, sir, will fix these failed policies and not continue them. We've talked. We agree on some of what needs to happen. You want to get more people in the jail? First off, hey, I'm still willing. You probably won't hire me after this, but I'm still willing to go to work for you. I'll take a pay cut and go to work for you. You can't, Troy can't use the excuse of, we're shorthanded. No, buddy. You are shorthanded, but it's by your own choice. Matt Haley, you're coming in. I don't know when you're going to start transitioning. But as soon as you start transitioning, at that point, as far as I'm concerned, you need to start looking at what needs to happen. You did 26 years with the Harrison County Sheriff's Department. I challenge you right now to fix these problems. I want you to. And let me tell you something about correctional officers in case you forgot, because I know you only did it for, a couple of years back in the 90s. Let me tell you what correctional officers want. More than pay. Granted, more pay would probably help. Sign-on bonus would probably help if you can find it in the budget. But what we really want as correctional officers is an administration that understands that we're not the bottom of law enforcement. We are law enforcement. You think that a correctional officer is not law enforcement? Lace up my boots and step foot on the compound one time. I've personally in my career dealt with everything from misdemeanors to death row inmates. In my career in corrections, I could run that jail blindfolded and still do a better job than what's being done out there right now. I stand on that. Correctional officers want an administration that has their back, has their best interest at heart. I'm not saying coddle the dirty ones. I'm saying get rid of the dirty ones, and I know there's some out there. Unfortunately, there's dirty officers in every compound. When I did my interview, I will give props where it is due. Investigator McCabe told me that dirty officers would be prosecuted. I'm glad to hear that. I want to see dirty officers prosecuted. If they're bringing in contraband, if they're abusing inmates physically, if they're failing to report PREA, if they're violating the law, if they're violating policy, they don't need to be behind the gate. They don't deserve a uniform. Throw them out. 100% on board with that. But back your good officers. Put people in charge that actually care. Remember that your COs, yeah, you're going to get the ones that are going to come in there trying to find their way to the street. Okay, fine. It's a stepping stone. It's a county jail. It happens. You might get somebody like me who doesn't want to go to the street. I don't want to be a street cop. I wouldn't want to be a street cop. I'm not cut out for the street. I know this. I'm not comfortable on the street. If I kick in a door, there might be a shotgun behind it. If I go and do a cell extraction, there might be a shank, but I'll survive that more than likely. A shank ain't a shotgun. I get that. I'll respect the guys on the street. I know what I'm dealing with behind that gate. And I recognize that. I've said it many times. I'm a compound sergeant. You know, I earned the rank of sergeant down in Florida. But the point I'm making to Matt Haley here is back your COs up, man. Give them the respect that they're due. And you'll keep people. Stone County pays less than Harrison County. There's a lot of people at Stone County that I know that are still there. I know people, I had a sergeant at Stone County. I'm not going to say name. But she used to work for Harrison County. She's happy at Stone County. Mike Farmer, I know he's leaving, but Mike Farmer runs a very good jail up there. Eddie Rogers runs a very good jail up there. Noel Reynolds runs a very good jail up there. They back their staff up. Now, when their staff does something stupid, they'll get on to them. Hey, they've gotten on to me. I'm not going to lie. They've said, hey, man, let's not do it that way. Okay. And I listen to them. I'll take, I'll take direction. I'm used to dealing with the worst of the worst. So I had to come out of that a little bit at Stone County. I had to adapt because it wasn't what I was used to working with down in Florida. I worked prisons. But the point that I'm making with you, Matt Haley, is I wish you well. I wish to God that you could come in and flip the magic switch, staff the jail fully, so that we can have officers on the street, have your street cops on the street, and your corrections deputies in the jail with fully staffed, or at least nearly fully staffed, not a skeleton crew. Make officer safety paramount in all of your policies and rules. Make sure that your COs don't have to worry about what happens if they have a riot in one of your blocks and where they're going to get their backup. That comes with being fully staffed, by the way. With training, increased training, increased pay. I know you've talked about that, at least with me. You've discussed the pay, so you know that's a problem. I say 35 a year is not terrible, but I'm sure they would appreciate more. I've certainly seen a lot less in corrections. And again, If you decide that you actually do want somebody who cares about the institution, who actually cares about public safety, and has the experience to help you, I'm available. Again, I'll take a pay cut. This is not a job application, by the way. This is just the truth. You run that jail the way it's being run now, and you're selling out the county. And I promise you, I'm going to be the loudest voice that you hear. You will see me at Board of Supervisors meetings if the situation doesn't change. You will see me at city council meetings all over the coast, letting the general public know what's going on. You will see these videos coming out more and more, letting everybody know what's going on if it doesn't change, and it needs to change forever ago. This is somebody who knows how the system works, telling you you need to tighten up. Troy's going out. It's your time. Please, for the love of God, do something right. Do this right. Because if you don't, you're selling out the county. And if you sell out the county, in 4 years, you will see my name on the ballot, and I will not stop for the next 4 years coming after you. Again, I don't care whether you hire me or not. I probably won't apply again. I may not. We'll see what happens. But at this point, I'm so disgusted because I tried. My help wasn't wanted. And I was lied to directly to my face. I don't know if y'all deserve me. At least under Troy Peterson. And I'm selective on who I'll go to work for. I'm real selective. With my credentials, I feel I have that right. You want it to change? You want to help with the shorthandedness? I'm giving you a way out. I'm just one man. I'm not going to make that big a difference. But I know a lot of other COs who have training equal to mine, and they're tired of Florida. And they're looking for other places to go that I could probably bring with me. Now you have trained people, properly trained people, that will come in and do it the right way. And have that place running safe for officers, safe for inmates, and smooth for you. But again, if my help's not appreciated, lots of luck to you, sir. Godspeed. Get used to seeing me in your face. Get used to every time you go to a Board of Supervisors meeting to see my smiling face. And me questioning you why the coast looks like it does. Why downtown Biloxi and downtown Gulfport look like a homeless shelter. Why crime is out of control in this county and nobody's doing anything about it. Why bums are allowed to roam the street and get the gumption to attack a 70-something-year-old woman who works harder in 1 week than they have their entire lives at a hotel where she has worked for the last 30-plus years on the beach in Biloxi, where she's previously never had an issue. Get used to me asking why people are increasingly getting their houses and their cars broken into because you wouldn't lock them up on the non-enhanceable misdemeanors to keep them off the road, and yet you're empowering them to commit increasingly worse crime. And if you think it doesn't roll, if you think there's not an avalanche effect here, there is. I've spent enough time around criminals to where I know how their minds work. If you give them an inch, they're going to go a little bit further. They're going to go a little bit further, then a little bit further. And then next thing you know, you have a 70-something-year-old woman getting taken by hospital to Biloxi Regional with her face bashed up. True story. It happened. And then you wonder why. Now everybody's mad. It was preventable. Reputations of communities get around. The best sheriff in the country, a man that I have more respect for than probably any other law enforcement officer ever, is a man by the name of Grady Judd. Grady Judd is the sheriff of Polk County, Florida. I have so much respect for this man. Go look him up on YouTube. You can see his press conferences. Polk County, Florida don't play. That's what I want to see in Harrison County. I want to see a sheriff who is proud to stand up and say, I fixed this problem. And Matt Haley, I hope to God you are that sheriff. Then you don't have to worry about seeing me sitting across from you at the Board of Supervisors meeting going, why are we allowing this to happen? Matter of fact, quite the opposite. You'll see me on these videos saying, you know what? Matt Haley's a good sheriff. And I support him and vote for him, back him up, donate to his campaign, whatever I needed to keep him there. But you have to earn it, sir. And I hope to God that you do. I want nothing more than to stop making these videos and to stop seeing my beloved coast look like I don't know what. (1984), I was born in Biloxi. From 1984 until now, I would have never thought that I would see what I see over the last few years. It wasn't like this in 2016 when I went to Florida. I came back in 2020, and I don't even recognize the place anymore. That breaks my heart. Y'all have a good day.